Wow. Đến rồi chưa rồi?
Town in Hue. But on the way, we're going to stop by some tourist destination. And the first destination today is An Lagoon, one of the most famous place for taking photo in Hue. The scenery there is very beautiful. This is also the place where local people raise oyster and especially a pearl to make skincare product and jewelry for women. And we stop by there for 30 minutes for sightseeing. After that, we go straight to Kaiden Tomb. You know, Hue province has many royal tombs, but Kaiden Tomb is the most beautiful one, the most best one. And we spent 45 minutes to visit the tomb. After that, we dropped by a nearby restaurant where we have lunch. The restaurant was built in royal architecture, so the scenery inside is so beautiful. That's why after having the lunch, please take a little time to walk around and take some beautiful photos there. In the afternoon, we go to Thiên Mục Pagoda. Most of people in Hue province follow Buddhism. That's why we have many pagodas here, over 300 pagodas. But Thiên Mục is the oldest one, the most beautiful one. We also have 45 minutes for the pagoda. And after visiting the pagoda, we go together to the most important destination today, the citadel. I mean the royal palace. The citadel is very large, 520 hectares. If you have a chance, you should come there. And next to the peninsula is a very long bridge, the longest bridge in our city, Thong Thut Bridge. You know, when people in our city want to kill themselves, they come there and jump down. Yeah, because the bridge is really high, 80 meters above the sea level. It's also the place where we started to build a pass road in 1896 to facilitate communication between Hue and Turan. No, Turan is a name that French people call our city the name in the past. Yeah. But the road built by French people was pretty narrow, yeah, at certain time. But it had to face a high volume of traffic every single day. So traffic accident happened a lot on the path. Many people died there. The number of the dead people just reduced after American people widened the path road in 1966. And since Haivan Tunnel was finished in 2005, the majority of vehicles get through the tunnel to leave the path road for tourist vehicle. That's why today the road on the pass is not so dangerous anymore. But for today, we don't get over the pass, we get through the tunnel for time saving and safety reason. If we get over the pass, it takes us 45 minutes because the pass is 21 kilometers long. Yeah. But if we get through the tunnel, it's only 7 minutes. Yeah. And Haivan Tunnel is the longest tunnel not only in Vietnam but also in Southeast Asia. It's 6.3 kilometers long because the tunnel is so long. original name is Lang Gong.
Wow.
Lang means village, Gong means stock, because there were many stock here, especially in eating. He asked people to go around to find special kind of wood to make chopstick. And finally, they discovered that kind of wood on the mountain. His name is Kim Yao. If you use it to make chopstick, when you take poisonous food, the color of the chopstick can change into violet color. It helps you to recognize poisonous food. Although the king was very careful, but finally, he still died at the age of 25 because of the disease. The king couldn't change his fate. It's very easy. Hey, our knowledge.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody.
Family had the culture pearl in the sea from here, lăng cô biển. Ngọc trai bên em là ngọc trai nuôi ở nước biển, nuôi ở vịnh Lăng Cô này luôn. This is the culture pearl. The pearl have a natural pearl and the culture pearl. Yes. Everyone love pearl, love the pearl. Yes. The culture pearl people champion to fill wrinkles into the ovary of the pearl. The first girl we cut the meat of the pearl, and the second we cut the cell of the pearl. Yes, cut the cell of the pearl, make some more side, and take into the ovary of the pearl. One oyster have only one pearl. Yes, and this freshwater pearl. Freshwater pearl. One oyster have a 15 and 20 pearls. Yes, very very cheaper from China. Yes, and this from here. One oyster have only one pearl. And after we take into the sea, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. The oyster eat the food and the
ये यहाँ का टिकट काउंटर है। अंदर जाने से पहले यहाँ से टिकट लेना पड़ता है। हम तो गाइड के साथ आ रहे हैं और ट्रैवल एजेंसी के साथ आ रहे हैं, तो वही हमारे लिए टिकट लेंगे। लेकिन अगर आप अकेले आते हो तो आपको वहाँ से टिकट लेना पड़ेगा। और ये है ऊपर जाने का एंट्रेंस। ज़्यादा धूप है, लाइक कल इतना रेनिंग था और यहाँ पे ना हुए में यही होता है, अगर एक बार बारिश स्टार्ट हो गई ना तो रुकती नहीं है, जैसे हमारे गाइड ने बताया था। लकीली आज बारिश नहीं है, बट इतना ज़्यादा धूप है। सो आई कैन इमेजिन कि समर में यहाँ पे सच में कितना धूप रहेगा, क्योंकि ये बेरेबल नहीं है। और ये एक तो ऊपर हाइट पे है ना, हिल स्टेशन पे है ना, तो इसीलिए ज़्यादा धूप लगती है। हेड पहन लेती हूँ। टूरिस्ट नहीं आते हैं। इट्स ओल्ड कैपिटल सिटी ऑफ वियतनाम, बट जितने भी लोगों को ट्रेडिशन में, कल्चर के, वियतनामीज कल्चर में इंटरेस्ट है, सिर्फ वही लोग आते हैं यहाँ पे। इसीलिए आपको है ना यहाँ पे बहुत कम टूरिस्ट मिलेंगे, स्पेशली इंडियंस तो बहुत कम है। यहाँ पे ये ना सामने आपको रिवर मिलेगी।
Surface of painting, the pathetic. Nowadays, there is a secret. For all the tomb, you cannot know exactly where the dead body of the king was buried, because kings are afraid their enemy to excavate their tomb. But for this tomb, you can know exactly where. It's inside this room. Follow me, I will show you here. And one of them is the most talented artist at that time who painted this painting. The painting was the most interesting artist inside the tomb because it was drawn by foot, not by hand. Yeah, one day when the king went into the palace, he was very shocked and angry because he saw the army using the foot to draw dragon. You know, dragon represent king. If you do like that, it is unrespectful to the king. So the king was so angry and he asked the artist, "How do you dare to use the foot to draw my dragon?" And the artist explained, because the painting is so large, if I use my hand to draw it, the distance between my eyes and the ceiling is very short. I cannot see the whole painting, so I cannot paint it well. That's why I have to change my position and use my foot to draw. easier for me to see the whole painting so I can paint it well. Makes sense? The king was so angry, but he couldn't do anything to the artist because he's the only one who can draw it. The painting was drawn 100 years ago, but its original color has not changed. This is the original color of the painting. And there's no spider net on the surface of the painting for 100 years. No one knows what happened. Maybe the artist used special kind of material to draw it. Passed away, but the tomb was unfinished. So his son, the last king of Vietnam, Mao Dai, helped him to finish in 6 more years. And the tomb was finished in 1931. To build the tomb, many people died. In the past, there was a small stream in front of the tomb, and the water of the stream was naturally poisonous. So when soldiers, prisoners came here to build a tomb, many of them got disease and passed away. This is also the tomb that it costs most money to finish, because the king asked people to go to China and Japan to buy high quality pottery and plasma decoration. It was cement, steel in France, many material imported from foreign countries. That's why it consumed a lot of money. And during the time of building the tomb, he was broke. He ran out of money. But the tomb was finished. So he was the king of Vietnam, but he didn't have real power. Real power was in French people's hand. And this king also had a very good relationship with French people. That's why I think he used a place where he lived normally were built in French architecture. And there's an interesting thing about this that I want to share with you. When tourists get into the room, maybe they think this is marble. No, this is fake marble. It was made by concrete. 100 years ago, the artists at that time already knew how to make fake marble like this. I can say the king asked most talented artists across Vietnam to come here to help him to build a tomb and decorate it. The dead body of the king was buried 9 meters under the ground. Because number 9 is holy number, it's the number of king. And King Kaidan is the person who loved to use foreign products. That's why his statue was made by bronze in France, not in Vietnam. And this is the real size of the king. He's not tall at all. That's why on the way to go up, can you see we have many statues of mandarins and soldiers. They're very short, just 1.5 meter. Because the king is the person who's not tall, so everyone must be shorter than him to respect to the king. And at the back of the throne we have big sun. This is sunset. Represent king passed away. The interesting objects inside the room is the one above the head of the king in square shape. Can you see? It's very heavy, 1,000 kilograms. But it looks very soft, look like silk because of the decoration outside. In the past, the king spent a lot of money to build a tomb. Nowadays, thanks to the tomb, we collect a lot of money by selling tickets to tourists. I can say this is the greatest contribution of the king to the country. Although it was built 100 years ago, but today it's still in very good condition. You see, it's very new. Style, but they call it for having Asian style. He's the person who loves something unique, special, different from others. This tomb is also the fusion of Western and Asian architecture. On the way to go up, you see the fence is very modern. It's Western style, but we also have dragon and lotus as symbol of Asian architecture. Only this tomb was built in Asian and Western architecture. The rest of the tomb will be in Asian style. Okay, now we get inside this room for a But this tomb is 100% original.
वो था एंट्री पॉइंट और ये है एग्जिट पॉइंट और अब हम जाएंगे बाहर। यहाँ पे कुछ भी स्कैन नहीं स्टार्ट है। एंड आई बिलीव कि कोई भी कंट्री के बारे में आपको जानना है ना, तो पहले आपको उसकी हिस्ट्री पता होनी चाहिए। और हिस्ट्री के लिए आपको हिस्टोरिकल प्लेसेस हमेशा विज़िट करने चाहिए। इसीलिए मैंने हुए अपने आइटनरी में रखा था, क्योंकि मैं ये मिस नहीं करना चाहती। या हाउ मच? या किती होतात मग? काका आमच्याकडे 50 रुपयाला भेटतात.
500 होतात.
मी 50 रुपयाला घेतलाय पॉंडिचेरीवरून. ना थँक्यू.
bớt cho 100. Okay.
या ना थँक्यू
100.
थँक्यू.
100 $.
किती होतात वन? यहाँ पे है ना बहुत सारे लोकल शॉप है जहाँ पे आप शॉपिंग कर सकते हो। बहुत सारे क्यूट हैट्स हैं। बहुत ना क्यूट हैट है जो हम लोग बाद में लेने वाले हैं, अभी नहीं। होयान से हम शॉपिंग करेंगे। यहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली ये टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन है तो बहुत कॉस्टली होगा। मैं ज़्यादा स्पेंड नहीं करना चाहती क्योंकि ये हमारा बजट ट्रिप है। ये तो बजट ट्रिप लग्जरी ट्रिप ही है, बट मैं ट्राई कर रही हूँ कि मैं जितना सेव हो सके सेव करूँ और सब शॉपिंग वो सिर्फ होयान से करूँ। सो होयान तो हम आज रात को तो जा ही रहे, सो शायद मैं कल और परसों। और हमारा जो रेस्टोरेंट है ना, ये इस एरिया का सबसे ब्यूटीफुल रेस्टोरेंट है ना। कैंट वेट टू शो यू गाइस। लुक एट दिस, वाओ। यू नो पूरा वियतनामीज वाइब आ रहा है अभी। आई डोंट नो फूड कैसे होगा, बट इसका एम्बियंस माइंड ब्लोइंग।
Best way to take photo here with Fujian Tower, with the side. Yeah, this is the direction of pagoda. When you get inside, you choose the gate on the left side of the pagoda. Okay, this gate. And when you exit, choose the one on the right side of the pagoda. That way. Okay.
So they were right.
Yeah. And in the middle gate, we have two deities. Yeah. One deity. Emperor built the gate like this inside the royal palace, and the middle way is for king only. The one on the left side for supplementary, and the one on the right side for commander. After that, people copy this style of architecture to be village gate, pagoda gate, temple gate. In case king go to pagoda or come back to village, there's an exclusive way for him to go. That's why nowadays many Vietnamese pagoda close the middle way. They just open two gates on both sides. Yeah, but which way we should choose to get inside and which gate we should choose to exit? Who knows?
Inside, right?
And exit back. Very handsome, white face. And the responsibility of the one on the right side is to punish anyone who do wrong thing. That's why he looks very. The statue of this Buddha front. Who know the name of this Buddha? Mistake. That's why he always happy and he smile all day. People put his statue front because they want to remind everybody. If you want to learn Buddhism, you need to learn his character first. But this is Chinese and Vietnamese Happy Buddha. In India or Tibet, Happy Buddha has big body, very handsome, not like this. Because many years ago in China, there was a very famous monk. He had big belly and he brought a big bag on his shoulder like this. He walked around and teach everybody Buddhism. One day when he passed away, he said to everybody, I am the incarnation of Happy Buddha. Since then, Chinese people carve a statue of Happy Buddha based on his shape. And you know, Vietnamese Buddhism is influenced by Chinese Buddhism.
Yeah.
That's why we have the same shape for Happy Buddha. Right now, I give you 5 minutes to get inside for sightseeing or pray anything you want. Who knows the name of this tree?
Banyan tree.
Its name is Sala. Sala. Yeah. It's a symbol of Buddhism because in the past, Shakyamuni Buddha was born under the tree. And when he passed away, he also passed away under the tree. And it's very meaningful. That's why people grow it inside pagoda. Because it represents a cycle of human life. When its flower blossom, it's very beautiful and smell very well. But when its fruit drop down, it's very dirty and smell horribly. Just like human, when we grow up, we become beautiful and handsome. But when we get older, we are not beautiful anymore. And when we pass the tree, and if its flower drop down your body, you will be lucky in making money.
Ooh.
But if its fruit drop down your head, it costs money. You must go to hospital. Everything was burned except for his heart. The heart of the monk was not burned. It's a miracle, right? That's why many Vietnamese people call him Bồ-Tát, Buddhism, the second highest level in Buddhism, just below Buddha. When people wanted to express the respect to Buddha, they walk around him 3 laps in the clockwise, right? Nowadays, people do the same with Buddhist tower because they believe Buddhist mantra, Buddhist sutra are very inside the tower. They make the tower have great power. When people walk around it, they can absorb positive energy from it. Their life will be better. We will face many lucky things in the future. That's why nowadays in some Buddhist countries like Tibet, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, people walk around the tower.
Yeah.
So do you want to do it right here for today?
Yes.
Okay, in the clockwise.
ऊपर के साइड में है ना आपको लॉर्ड बुद्धा और उनके जो पहले 5 शिष्य थे उनका एक पेंटिंग बनाया गया है। फिर वहाँ पे उनका बर्थ, फिर एनलाइटमेंट और जो भी बुद्धिज़्म में इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है वो हर एक पेंटिंग में आपको देखने मिलेगी। वियतनाम में है ना बुद्धिज़्म है वो चाइनीज़ लोगों से आया था। सो उसके वजह से यहाँ पे नॉर्मली बुद्धिज़्म, चाइनीज़ बुद्धिज़्म और वियतनामीज़ बुद्धिज़्म ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर है, लैंग्वेज भी सिमिलर है, प्लस वो लोग का न्यू ईयर जो होता है वो भी सेम ही होता है। चाइनीज़ न्यू ईयर को ये लोग मनाते हैं अपना न्यू ईयर, और इसकी वजह से ना ये लोग का जो आर्किटेक्चर है सब सेम है सब। वाह, ये प्लेस, ये जगह है ना बहुत पीसफुल है। यहाँ पे एक गार्डन है, बड़ी 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 ट्रीज़ हैं, और बाकी की इन्फॉर्मेशन तो आपको गाइड से मिल ही गई। क्या दिस इज़ अ ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस। पैगोडा वैसे तो बहुत छोटा है, लाइक आपके लिए है ना 15 से 20 मिनट बहुत हो जाएंगे पूरा घूमने के लिए स्पेशली। और अभी है ना वियतनाम में लोग लाइक जो फ्यूचर जनरेशन है, जो ज़ेनज़ी जनरेशन है, वो लोग ज़्यादा फॉलो नहीं करते हैं और वो समझ में आता है। लाइक बहुत सारी प्लेसेस में लाइक जहाँ पे मेन मूर्ति है, जहाँ पे मेन
Circle. This is the largest one we call it Citadel. And this is the middle one, Imperial City, Royal Family live inside the circle. And the smallest one is Phuket. Right? But according to Chinese feng shui, they divide them into 24 small directions, and Noon is in the center of the south. People believe that emperor must face the south to manage the country. That's why most of imperial construction face the south, and they call the gate in that direction Noon Gate. Look at the Noon Gate. It has 5 small gates inside, right? 3 middle gate you already know. I already explained to you at the pagoda. And the rest of 2 gates on both sides are for soldier and animal vehicle like horse, elephant. In some important ceremony, emperor stand it So finally, the king decided to open an investigation, and he discovered this guy received a lot of money under the table. He did many bad things behind the back of the king. And since then, people know the duty of this animal. The head of this animal like this, not like this, because every time Mandarin crosses error, they look at the horse of theirs to remind them, don't do anything wrong to the king. You will be punished. That's why many people say that we should put this animal inside Congress, because there are a lot of corruption there, right? And the wives of King Lee. But many constructions in this circle were destroyed by the war in 1947 against French people, and in 1968 against American people. This place is for female only. The place where we are heading to, Taemyu Temple, is for men only. The temple was destroyed by the war, nothing left inside. So we don't get into this area. Now we move to Taemyu Temple. We have 5 places to worship Emperor and Lord inside this area, and people use this corner to worship the Lords, and this corner is used to worship Emperor. So right now I take you guys to this Taemyu Temple where people worship Emperor. After that we go to Yintou residence where Queen Mother lives, and then we follow this walking path to get through 2 construction here. The one on the left side is Taipun Pavilion where King read book, and the one on the right side is a building where we also have restroom inside. Bury the dead body. Can you see we have many bottles on your on the way? Yeah. Sometimes you can see some house with yellow bottle in the front yard. That's the most famous specialty in Vietnam, essential oil. This is the #1 essential oil in Vietnam because it has many benefits. You know, when the pandemic broke out in Ho Chi Minh City a few years ago, many Vietnamese doctors